I'd like to share with you, if you're interested in emotional healing, I'd like to share with you what I found in my 20 years of very dedicated, very dedicated attempt to emotional healing. Luckily an unusual teacher that I had, and my ongoing practical and theoretical research. I'd like to share with you how I experience emotional healing and what I think is the mechanism, so to say. When I start to investigate uncomfortable emotions, so I go towards it. That means I give it more space. I don't try to manage it. I don't try to control it. I don't try to breathe it away or do anything to make it go away or transform or heal it. Just let it be there, and actually I move closer. It means I try to let it take up more space inside of me. I invite it to get closer to me, and I get closer to that uncomfortable emotion. And depending on the intensity and the depth and the particular emotional theme, this can get very overwhelming to the degree that it renders me dysfunctional for daily life. But it's a gradual, going in and then going out again, going in again. So you gradually expand your capacity to let more and more of that, let's say, flood your consciousness. And as I do that, there comes a moment where the emotion fills up my whole space. So I become the emotion fully and completely. And I can't explain that to you in words, but I'm gonna show that to you with music. It's a much better way to talk about emotions, to investigate and explore emotions and emotional dynamics than words. Words are really the worst vehicle to explore emotions. And so what happens that if I become that emotion fully, that is, you feel exactly how you felt as a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 7-year-old, 11, doesn't matter, in a certain situation, and you have a very strong emotion. By the way, this is something for reasonably stable people. This is not something anyone could just do. If you have serious emotional trauma, you need to get professional help. I don't think there's any way you can do this on your own. I don't think so. Just in the same way as if you have a car accident, you're gonna want to have some doctors help you with what you're dealing with. So as I fully become that version of myself who was overwhelmed with that emotion, and at that time couldn't bear it, so the self-preservation aspect of the soul kicks in and disassociates from that emotion, and the soul fragments, and this emotion becomes encapsulated and, you could say, suppressed. Doesn't matter how you there's different dynamics of what the soul does to keep on going through life. There's different self-preservation tactics and strategies. The most common one is suppressing it. So I keep interrupting myself. That's because I just need to learn how to do this with this talking to the camera, which is extremely awkward. So I keep going closer and closer until I become that me again that was completely overwhelmed with that emotion. And over the last 20 years, and I can't really explain to you exactly the mechanism of how this works, but to keep it short, the more often you do that, and I worked with people who helped me with that for 15 years. That's important to say that. And I think at some point within your soul, within yourself, there grows the capacity to do that with yourself and without outside help for the main part. And then I feel this overwhelming emotion, and at the same time, I know it sounds strange, I am there to hold myself. So two things happen at the same time. I am the young version of myself, drowning in the emotion, and I am the current version of myself, holding, feeling that younger version of myself. So that's not yet where the emotional healing happens, or begins to happen. It begins to happen when that young version of myself notices there is someone there now. I'm not alone with that. There is someone there, and that someone feels what I feel right now. And in this moment, something beautiful happens. Something so beautiful that the whole of life, including all the pain, all the struggle, all of a sudden makes sense and becomes meaningful. To me. I don't know if it would be the same for you. And yeah, I'm so thankful to this teacher who helped me have that experience and learn that. And I still feel like a child learning to walk. I'm falling flat on my face all the time. I get up and continue doing the next steps. This is for me the most precious thing I found in my life. What I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna keep on learning for the rest of my soul existence. So I don't know if you had an experience like that. I'd be curious. In this series of exploration of emotion and emotional healing, I'm going to touch on different topics, many of them emotional healing and energy healing, and why it works and why it doesn't work, and how it works, and where the actual practical application of it lies, and where it's a misguided application. But this is always the core. I'm going to come back to that. Emotional healing, I don't really like the word healing. Emotional let's use the word healing for now, begins when there is a relationship between two sentient, soulful, feeling beings. In a relationship where they can, where there is something, where they enter one space, where they both, I don't want to say the word become one, but it has something to do with that. I'm going to use music and it's going to be much more clear. Much better than any words can ever describe it. Yeah, so that was the first part. It's so awkward to talk to a camera. Oh boy. Okay, let's see what comes out of this.